What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Fireside Rangers. I'm your host, Eric Wilson. Today, joined by my co-hosts, Will Cohen, and on the bottom, as always, Colin Alcabes. You know, the keen observer will notice that we're all wearing the exact same outfits as last episode. I wonder why that is, you know?
That's true. I have a hat now and a chain.
Me and Will look exactly the same. It's not, imagine we just didn't record 15 minutes ago and we're back. That's crazy, right? Today, we've got a interesting episode for you guys. Larry Brooks, everyone's favorite reporter. He has some interesting takes sometimes, but he's come in with a hot one this time. He says or believes that it's possible that Connor McDavid, the greatest player in the entire world, could follow the Messier path and go from Edmonton to the New York Rangers when his contract expires next season. Now, obviously, this is just one man's opinion. There's absolutely zero confirmation that any of this could happen or would happen, but we're here to talk about it because I think it's interesting, and I would love it if Connor McDavid were on the Rangers. So we're going to talk about that possibility in today's episode. Before we do, make sure you guys like, subscribe, ring that bell so you don't miss a notification. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Is Larry crazy, or is there any chance in the world that this could happen? Lastly, be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. And yeah, ready for this? We're going to do a crazy maneuver here. That's going to go away, and then boom.
Ooh. Wow.
We've advanced.
This is revolutionary, guys.
We've advanced technologically beyond anyone's belief. Yeah, so I guess we'll go in order to the right. Will, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Got a haircut. I feel good. I feel fresh. I feel clean. And honestly, I feel fresh in the presence of Colin's hat that he's wearing because I think it's sweet. And honestly, I kind of want to get myself one, but I don't look in hats, so I probably won't. But I'm feeling fantastic today. Well, I appreciate that, Eric.
Rock a hat.
I also think hat, and I appreciate that's on mine.
You're the only one with that one. But Colin, what's your shirt say?
I think it's this dragon.
Interesting.
That's sweet.
Picture of a dragon. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Cool. So, anyways, Connor McDavid, I'm wearing his shirt yet again. Those of you that watched last episode, you were probably like, that crazy guy, Eric, why is he wearing a McDavid shirt? Well, here's why. It's foreshadowing. I was hinting towards today's episode. So, yeah, like I said, Connor McDavid, the greatest player in the world, is set to be a free agent come the end of next season. Now, I don't know if he's going to want to stay in Edmonton or not. I feel like if they win the Stanley Cup this year, which they are in the finals for those of you that gave up after the Rangers didn't make it, I feel like the chances of him staying would be higher. But I feel like if they lose again to the Panthers, McDavid might want to change the scenery. He's been in the league since 2015. It's been a whole decade, and he doesn't have anything to show for it other than a couple of personal accolades. I'm sure the guy wants to win a Stanley Cup, really cement himself as the GOAT, possibly. So if he wants to win, maybe he's going to want to go to a contender. Maybe it's the Rangers, maybe it's a different team. But I think it's very, very unlikely, but it's possible. Like, we've seen crazier moves in the past. If Gretzky could get moved and Gretzky ended up on the Rangers, I don't see why McDavid can't. I think the biggest thing that we're going to have to talk about today would be the finances of the whole thing. Whatever his contract is going to be, whether it be Edmonton or elsewhere, it's going to be a big one, probably the biggest in NHL history. So I think that's going to be the majority of the episode, but I would love to see it. I think the chances of it happening are very low, but we're talking about it anyway. But I'll pass it off to whoever wants to get us started on whether or not they think this could happen or not.
You want it first, Colin?
Sure, I'll take it. I think obviously when talking about a player of this caliber, this is a guy that you're always going to consider if he becomes a free agent. I think what you said is right, Eric. I think if they lose this cup, there's a lot higher of a chance or higher than if they win. If they win the cup, I think he resigns and he stays. But I think if they lose again, I think that he's gotten so close twice, but they just don't. They've done nothing to address the glaring holes, and that would be goalie for me. So where do you go? You go to a place where you have one of the best goalies in the world locked up for a good long while. And as much as the contract will be an issue, and we'll get to that in a little bit, he's going to be 29 years old, still in his prime. I don't think this guy's ever not had a prime. He's one of the players who not only can do it himself, but he also makes everybody on the ice better around him at all times. He's taken chumps like Zach Cassian and made them look like superstars at times. So, it's definitely a player that you're going to want on your team at all times. He definitely is, for me, working his way up the GOAT conversation just based on his play alone. He won a Conn Smythe, and he hasn't won a cup yet, which is a damn shame. So I think a change of scenery could benefit him, and I think it's definitely something nagging him, and it's in the back of his mind every time that they lose the playoffs. I know for a while they couldn't get over the hump, couldn't get to the cup. Now they've gotten there twice. If they fall short yet again, I think it's only a matter of time before he leaves and looks for greener pastures elsewhere.
I could see that happening. The only problem is that as soon as this man hits the free agency market, there's going to be roughly 31 other teams that are going to go all in on him, because it's not often that a player of this caliber is made available. I feel like even like the most cap-strapped teams in the league are going to start looking for ways to make it happen. But Will, what's your take on it?
Just like everything, like if he wants to leave, I agree with you and Colin. I think that if the Oilers come up short yet again this year, I think there's going to be something in his head where we went to 2 Stanley Cup finals. We didn't win one. He's probably going to sit down with, management and say, this is what needs to happen if you guys want to retain me. Goalie obviously is a big problem in Edmonton. It has been for a long time. They tried to address it with Jack Campbell. That didn't work out. Obviously, they have Stuart Skinner and who's the other one they have? Who's the starter they have in that right now? Who's it?
Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, Calvin Pickard. Yes, and obviously Calvin Pickard has looked pretty decent in the playoffs. I think, at least I think he has. But still, this is going to be another year where you need a goalie, and who knows what's going to happen. I don't even know what the goalie free agent market looks like this year, or how they're going to make a trade for one. But unless they win the cup this year, I think he's going to be going to management and saying, hey, things need to change, because we've been close twice. We've been to the cup 2 straight years, and we've fallen short twice. Something needs to change, and it needs to change drastically. It needs to change now, because if not, I'll be on my way out come 2026, the offseason 2026. So with that being said, now my own opinions, I think he stays either way. I think that I think Edmonton is going to do everything they can do to keep him and Draisaitl together. I really don't see not that there isn't a chance, because if he does hit free agency, there's a chance for all 32 teams all 32 teams to be able to make a run at him. I just don't think the Oilers are going to let that happen. I do not think you can let a guy with the likes of Connor McDavid, the talent he has, he is more than a superstar. You cannot let him walk out. And I know that they're going to be a little cap strapped, because they have a decent amount of big contracts on that team, especially they just signed Leon Draisaitl last year to that extension. I think it just kicked in, or I think it kicks in this year, this upcoming year. But they're going to do everything they can to keep him in the building, because if they don't and they let him walk, they will be kicking themselves for a long time. I mean, he's 29 years old, but he's been in his prime since he entered the league at 18. I mean, this guy is – there's not been a lot of players that have come into the league and done what he has been able to do. So I think that the Oilers will do everything they can, even if they come up short this year, to keep him in the building.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to try their hardest, but if McDavid wants to win, the Oilers may not have a choice. They could maybe offer him the world, like the entire salary cap, and he can just say no. Like, I just want to go win a cup.
Yeah.
But speaking of money, I pulled it up here because I got to thinking. I got curious, and I'm like, who is the highest paid NHL player at the moment? I didn't realize it, but it's actually Austin Matthews. He makes $13.25 million a year, which compared to McDavid currently, McDavid makes 12.5. Is McDavid going to end up becoming the highest paid player, beating out that 13.25? Absolutely. I 1000% believe it. I'm sure wherever McDavid signs anywhere in the league, he's going to want a long-term extension, most likely 7 or 8 years at minimum, to break the rules and sign him to 20 years somehow, knowing this guy. But I know with the cap increasing every year and just the name Connor McDavid, I can see this man making 16, 17 million a year, something ridiculous, right? Like he's going to set a record. I 1000% believe it. I'm honestly shocked that when he signed his current contract with Edmonton, however many years ago that was, I'm shocked that it wasn't higher than 12 and a half, even back then when the cap wasn't moving up as much. So is it financially possible for the Rangers to sign McDavid? Sure. But you're going to have to clear up a lot of space. You know, Kreider's gone, Panarin's gone. That alone right there makes up like 18 million. That might be enough, maybe, but it's going to be a bidding war. You know, every single team is going to be offering insane contracts. So maybe whatever he signs at, wherever, it's going to be even more inflated than what he already deserves, just because it's, like I said, bidding war. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. I can see it. I can see the vision that Larry had with this belief, but it's going to be real tough. So I don't know. But that's just my take on the finances of it all. I'm not sure if either of you have anything to add.
I will say this go around. I think the last contract was definitely about money. He signed an 8-year deal, $12.5 million per year. You're talking about $100 million contract. I think that he's gotten his bag, and now he might. I'm not saying he's going to take less than that. He's obviously going to take more, but I don't think that he's going to go hunting for that 18 million. You know, that all-time record. It's going to get passed anyway, and even with the cap going up, no matter what deal he signs, it'll look like a steal. This 12.5 right now looks like a steal. You know what I mean? And there's no year where I would say that was a bad contract. Just given how he plays every single year. But I think that if he wants to win and he's actually serious about winning and he does decide to leave it, that you might not see him go for money, but you might see him go to a team that has the assets to help him build around him. I know he has Draisaitl right now. That's another monster contract over there. They got to pay Bouchard soon. You know, they have a lot of big names over there. I know they got Kane on a cheaper deal, but I'm assuming that's coming to an end nearly soon. I don't have Edmonton's numbers right in front of me. I don't know when Hyman's going to be due for a contract. Nugent Hopkins, like they got a lot of big players over there, and I'm sure some of them are under contract right now. So, like I said, I can't speak entirely to that. I do have it in front of me. Hang on. Yeah, 26, 27. You got to pay McDavid, Kane. Nobody else really that big, actually.
Bouchard is this year.
Bouchard is this
RFA this year.
Jeff Skinner, Corey Perry, Kasperi Kapanen, and nobody that big this year. But that other year, I mean, you do have to pay Kane if you want to keep him around. He's a big contributor, especially in the playoffs. Adam Henrique, he's been a big guy, a big piece for them. He might not be that much money, obviously. But I mean, Draisaitl coming in at 14. That's a big. You got two players making a combined 26.5 mil. And I just don't think that's sustainable. Obviously, I'd love to stay with Draisaitl, but I don't think that that's sustainable. And I think he knows it.
Wait. Did you just say Draisaitl's making 14?
14.
What? Google.
His contract hasn't kicked in until next year.
Oh, I was going to say Google lied to me saying that Matthews was the highest.
Yeah, 25-26 season, Draisaitl starts making 14 million.
That's crazy. That's a lot of money.
A lot of money. But I think if he's serious about trying to win, and I think he recognizes it, he's already gotten his bag. I'm not saying he's going to take league minimum and go out there. He's definitely still going to take a solid chunk of cap, but I don't think it's going to be as egregious as the 17-18 if he's serious about winning. If he wants to go and get his bag again, by all means, I'm not going to judge you, but I doubt that you win making that much money until the cap goes up a considerable amount, which it has been. It is set to make some pretty steep jumps these next couple of years, but I just find it hard to believe that a player of his caliber, but also his knowledge and leadership, that he would do that and kind of cap strap a team while also trying to win.
I agree.
I think that's my take on that. I think he is just such a game changer, and he knows it. And while he could go and become, he can break the record for the highest contract, somebody's going to come in later. So that really doesn't matter to him, I don't think. I think right now the biggest thing for him is going to be winning cups.
Yeah.
Get to do it.
No, you're right. I'm sure he's going to play wherever he thinks he's going to win. When I say it's going to be a massive contract, I really just think it's because of the amount of teams going in. Like, let's say the Islanders come in and they offer him $14 million. Chris Drury's going to be like, nope, 15. And it's like it's just going to keep going up and up and up.
I also could be dead wrong. He could definitely go for money. He could 100% go for money, and he'd get it too.
He would get it, and I guess it's up to you. Do you want to be rich for the rest of your life, or do you want to win some Stanley Cups? To me,
give me legacy.
Yeah, give me legacy. You know, we talk about players that are like the best players to never win. You think of Henrik Lundqvist, you think of Carey Price, Joe Thornton. But if Connor McDavid doesn't win a cup, that's like if Tom Brady never won a Super Bowl or like LeBron never won a finals. Like McDavid or if Gretzky never won a cup. Like McDavid needs a cup for his legacy. He's got to do whatever it takes. And I like if he signs with the Panthers next year, like I just wouldn't care. I'd be like, good for him. I'm rooting for the Oilers this year in the finals. I don't care for the Oilers. I just want to see McDavid lift one.
I'm rooting against him because I want to see him leave.
Oh, that's
I'm
true.
rooting against it because I like the Panthers.
If you know what, Will, you're not allowed to say that on this channel. You know what?
Enjoy them.
Panthers going back to back makes it more likely that he ends up being a Ranger. Let's go for it. You know, whatever it takes.
And it's true. However,
I really just don't want to see Florida win another one. Let McDavid go wherever he wants. I don't need him. I'd rather see the Panthers lose. But, yeah. Anyways, ready for this? We're gonna do another quick pivot. Boom. Boom. That about wraps up today's episode of Fireside Rangers. Let us know with the whole camera thing. Did y'all like that? Or nah, should we stick to this? Because I don't have a preference. I only did this. Colin wouldn't stop asking if we could do it.
Let's try something new.
It might as well, right? You know, Will has a new haircut. We might as well keep trying new things. But you know, what's crazy is you can do this one. Make me the main character. Oh, now I'm alone. Now we're all tiny. It's crazy. I have so many options here. Right, how do I okay, I'm breaking the system. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Fireside Rangers. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure to hit that like button. Leave your comments down in that comment section below. Let us know what you think. Will McDavid be a Ranger or not? We'll see. And be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Fireside Rangers. One more important thing, don't forget in that comment section, make sure you tell Will that you like his new haircut. And let us know what Will should eat during next episode. We're going to start implementing food reviews at the end of every episode. Just a quick one-bite review like we're Dave Portnoy. But, yeah, have a good one. And
let's go
Rangers.